And a very good morning to you on this Wednesday. What a fabulous morning we've got here on the Gold Coast and the Tweed. And with me from the Tweed Shire Council, once again, a very popular guest in our talkback lineup that we've had here at 89.3 or 4CRB for you for many, many years. And that's a good morning to Warren Polglase. Good morning, Warren.
Good morning.
And it is a pleasure having you here after many, many years as the number one councillor in the Tweed Shire.
It has been a considerable time, and it's one of those enjoyable things I enjoy doing. And
we're not going to go into any numbers. Just let it say that it's been many, many years, and we hope there's many, many more years. The Tweed will have Warren Polglase looking after their interests down there. Okay, this is a talkback program this morning on anything local government in the Tweed Shire. All right, so it's Tweed Shire local government issues, not Gold Coast. So you can get on the phone right now on 55208888 and put your question to Warren Polglase, and Warren will get it done for you. Okay, Warren, let's get into it. Let's recognise a very important function of work that volunteers right throughout this great country of ours, volunteers keep businesses ticking over when otherwise they would be forced to close up, and they have some great charity work that they need being done, and volunteers are the core of that. And this is National Volunteers Week.
Yes, this week's National Volunteers Week, and when you mention it, Tweed Shire would be lost without our volunteers.
Yes.
There are many, many people that have retired to the Tweed Shire, and they bring with them enormous amount of knowledge and expertise in all their walks of life when they're growing up a family and working, and they're now retiring in the Tweed, and the Tweed needs volunteers in all various areas of the Tweed Shire. I mean, I can look at the art gallery. We have a need for more volunteers there that can be involved in guiding people through the gallery, doing other activities. The museum is looking for support and volunteers, and there's a lot of other agencies that will do work for various groups of men and women and children, all looking for volunteers to bring their knowledge and support. And like I say to the people, if you're sitting home now and you would like to be a volunteer, there's plenty of organisations that would reach out to you and offer you the opportunity. And I would say put your name forward and see what you do and enjoy it, because being in local government is more like a volunteer's job too, in many, many ways, considering the pay rate we get. But overall, the volunteers are the backbone of the Tweed Shire and have been for many, many years, and we appreciate them as a council to be able to make a lot of our organisations more functional. And I'm sure that if you wish to be a volunteer, look up the area you'd like to be in, and I'm sure that if you contact our council, we'll be able to guide you in the right direction and give you an opportunity to express some knowledge and expertise in an area that needs your service.
And the other big thing about volunteering too, it just opens the door for you to get in and enjoy working in an area that you get a lot of satisfaction out of. But it can lead to other opportunities within the business environment that you're going into. So you might go down and start working with council, but you might start working for council over the time because of your contribution to the whole thing. It's lots of things can happen.
Yeah, that has happened many times, and one of the things you find that when people retire to an area here, most of them leave their families behind in the southern states.
Yes.
In other areas, they come here and they're looking for a companionship and meeting other people and opening new doorways and pathways, and being a volunteer gives you that opportunity. Look how successful the men's sheds are. The men's sheds in the Tweed Shire are enormous. I've been to them. There's one men's shed down at Pottsville. I think they've got a chef and 3 cooks, and if you go down there for morning tea, sponge cakes, creams, scones, it's all there. But it's all volunteers, and the companionship that those men have amongst themselves, and I would say it's the same with the women's groups too, is something that they appreciate, and they talk their various issues, their men issues or the women issues, which is a good thing to do, because we're now looking at issues in our society and our community where we need to be giving support to a lot of people, and this is g'day mate, all this sort of thing.
Yep.
Volunteers being involved in groups can develop that good mate attitude, and I think that's extremely important as you get older in life and living in the Tweed.
It is so important, and so the big question or the big recommendation coming out of our program this morning is, if you're sitting at home wondering what I should do next, there is every opportunity for you becoming a volunteer. And council, as Warren just said, you need to contact the council and just ask them what the opportunities for volunteering is within the council organisation, and you will open the door to a new part of your life. And it's so important to stay active, as we've outlined.
That's for sure.
All right. Okay, another big, it's a big day in the Tweed today, because the opening of the, sometimes controversial, sometimes we need it now, and lots of ups and downs, but the new Tweed Hospital opening, the ribbon is being cut probably as we go to air.
Yes, it's happening today. The Premier and the Minister of Health will be in Tweed today to officially open the $730 million Tweed Valley Hospital. If you look back over time, you know there were many people that were anti the whole process, and
the location wasn't right,
all those sort of things. But I must give credit to our local member here, Jeff Provis. He supported it.
Yes,
he fought for it. He put his career on the line, and I think that it doesn't hurt to acknowledge those people, regardless of which government's in power. The individuals that made a commitment to make this all happen, I think, should be acknowledged. And I say, well done, Jeff. Today he'll probably be taking a minor position, being in opposition today, but overall it's great for the whole of the Tweed to have this magnificent facility now finished.
Is it in full operation?
It's in operation. The operation started on the 14th of May.
Yes.
And they started moving patients in. It's operational now. The first baby was born within a few hours of the hospital opening.
Beautiful.
So it's all exciting, and now we've got this facility, and it's brought healthcare to the Tweed that we've never ever had before, and I acknowledge the contribution by the state government in funding it, and the support that eventually came from the Tweed residents. I would say to a lot of our people now that if you go and look at the facility, you make you wonder why there was so much anti having it in the Tweed at this stage, and now we've got it. I would say you wouldn't be able to take it away.
That's for sure, definitely. And Warren, the old site, what's the plans for that?
Well, the old site is created a bit of controversy in many ways. There's a big push on in the Tweed where we need to look at an area where we have some what they call wellbeing centres that deal with all the issues that are now mainly discussing in our community with aged care and those areas like that, and dealing with people that need support in various vocations of life, mums and children and families, and counselling services. And I think that the council's making a push along the lines to find out what the government wants to do with that facility. If you probably realise, that hospital site is on two lots. The first stage of the hospital built was on one lot, and the recently built one, or 25 years ago, is on a separate lot. So the old hospital's got a bit of concrete cancer and a few other issues with it, but the lot two, where the emergency department is in those areas there, is quite up to date with what they can do. Yes. So we do need in Tweed a wellbeing centre in Tweed.
Yes.
Because there's a community centre in Moorlambar which is very active. I sit on the board of that centre, and I believe that we need a similar centre in Tweed. It's like they provide financial counselling services for people that may need that support. They give direction in various activities that where people need to go and get support. So Tweed's got a lot of retired people, and I think that we need those sort of facilities, and I'm sure that Council's now pushing the state government to give us a direction, a decision on what we'll see that facility being turned into.
Is it state or federal government? State or local government?
It's state government owned,
yes.
But the local government is now pushing the pedal to the metal to say, guys, we need to get something happening here, not in 5 years' time, but the next 2 years' time.
Definitely.
We would like to see some direction of what's going to happen on that site, because there is a need for a wellbeing centre.
Well, congratulations to all concerned in that, and getting the new Tweed Hospital open today. That's been a great achievement. And another great achievement, and gee, it was sort of a quiet opening up too, but gee, it's taken off well and truly. That is the Tweed Rail Trail. What a huge success. The silent the silent jackpot.
Well, it's interesting. In my time in local government in Tweed Shire, everything we do that turns out to be popular in the end is a fight from day one to make it happen, to start it, and the knockers come out, and it's interesting because the rail trail now has been acknowledged for an award in engineering excellence, and that's done by Tweed Shire Council staff. So, you give our people a bit of a knock every now and then, but you've got to acknowledge when we do things right. And Ian Lonsdale and his team, which managed the project for Tweed Shire's $11.5 million project, it turned out to win an award, and now we see probably, I would say, around 170,000, 180,000 people will probably go down that trail. Just amazing. In the first 12 months period. So, I've got an art gallery with 130 or 40,000 people right alongside it. A rail trail with 170 or 80,000 people. 310,000 people are coming to the Tweed, and probably 5% of those are locals. What a great opportunity for any council to be able to use it to push along the opportunities that are in the Tweed to grow. Fantastic. Okay, well, look, here we are, 17, coming up to 16 minutes past 9 here at your station, 4CRB-FM. This is your program. This is your talkback program. It's your opportunity. You don't have to wait and talk to a message, give a message on the phone. You can get directly on to Warren Polglase, the Tweed Shire councillor, and he is waiting for your call. And we are both waiting for your calls to come in, and the lines are now all free. 5520 8888 is the number for you to call right now. We'll go to a short break and be right back.
There's more to a happy retirement than just money. Have you asked yourself the question, how can I help build a legacy for the next generation? At RFS Advice, they take care of the finances and then work with you to identify and live your ideal retirement. Phone our sponsor, RFS Advice, now for a free chat. 55757689.
RFS Advice are representatives of Australian Advice Network, AFSL 472901.
The Animal Welfare League Queensland is currently raising funds to urgently upgrade the Gold Coast Rehoming Centre's dog exercise yards, which are used to enrich the lives of our shelter dogs. By donating, you'll be helping towards the rehabilitation and enrichment of dogs in our care. To donate, visit our website awlqld.com.au or call us on 55 099 033. Every dollar counts and brings the Animal Welfare League Queensland closer to making a difference in animals' lives. The number again, 55 099 033.
A 4CRB sponsor. And right now we have Councillor Warren Polglase with us from the Tweed Shire Council. So any questions on local government in the region down there that you have and you'd like to get some action on, believe me, you can get some action right now by simply calling 5520 8888. It doesn't happen very often, does it? So why don't you take advantage of it? Our talkback number, 5520 8888 is the number. And coming off one award to some more business awards, with the Tweed Shire Council Business Awards are happening again. Yes, that's an event that went last year. It was handled by the Tweed Heads Chamber of Commerce. This year it's being managed by the Moolumbar Chamber of Commerce, and we're giving them support to acknowledge all our businesses within the Tweed. And I'm sure that entries are still open. They close on the 16th of June. So if you wish to enter a business or recommend a business, just go onto their site. It's called tweedbusinessawards.org, and you can find entry forms and how to nominate your business. But overall, it's a great event to recognise the business opportunities in the Tweed and also to network, and the event itself will be held on the 16th of August at Moolumbar, in Moolumbar, at My Arts Centre. So it's one of those things where, we've been through COVID and a few other, and we're going through some tougher times now. So these awards allow people to network a bit, and we need to acknowledge our small business because they are the backbone within the Shire itself, and probably support 80% of our employees are involved in small business. So we need to move forward as a community, recognise our business people. Yes, and they're probably doing it tough at the present time too. It's a great idea and a great initiative to get some recognition for the contribution that small business does make to the local community. Well,
We've been in small business all our life, and it's great to see how we grew our business and network with other people by going to such organisations as the Chamber of Commerce in the Tweed. There's 3 of them. There's Kingscliff, Moolumbar and Tweed Heads, and to be able to network and understand how you can get your business support and grown, because today in small business, who may be your opposition could be your joint partner next week. So that's the way business moves ahead, and technology is becoming a big issue in small business too, and a lot of us people in small business have struggling to keep up with the technology, but the Chamber of Commerce are now running workshops and opportunities at breakfasts of how you can deal with AI and other issues in supporting your business.
And Warren, whilst we're talking about Moolumbar being the location for the Tweed Shire Business Awards, I see that there's a new stormwater pump station that's being built behind the levee at Moolumbar. Is this all in part of the restoration from the floods that we had?
Yes, this is part of the restoration. It's down the back end of Moolumbar. It's one of those areas where we had a pump station there. It was very old. It had been there a number of years.
It's a big one, isn't it? 1.6 million investment. These pumps have got a very high capacity to be able to pump water out quicker. And one of those things is that if we can get bigger pumps and better pumps to get the water out of the area quicker, well, we can get the area up and running again. But overall, these things don't come cheaply anymore. And the 1.6 million is a lot of money, but we need to be able to offer more protection for Moolumbar. I remember that years ago there was a lot of debate about why do we need local government? Why do we need local government? Let's get rid of that and just have state and federal. But boy, the local government is what we talk about, the man on the street.
Well, it's the closest government to the people.
It's the closest government to the people, and this is the classic example of that. Hey, Warren, we've got some calls. It's good morning to Anne. Anne, what's your question for Warren?
Good morning, Anne.
Good morning, Warren.
Good morning.
I will congratulate the Shire on the bikeway that you've done, and it's been very successful. But I'm still horrified that you've dug up the railway line. I would have liked to have seen it beside the railway line, because the population's getting more and more up here, and we've got no transport. And we don't want any more on the roads. There's enough buses and semis and cars on the road now. I can remember when I travelled on that train, it was such a help. You're going to be the same as what was down here at the Tweed. We used to have a railway line from Brisbane to Tweed, and that was all dug up. Now they're putting it all back again.
Well, the reason that the railway line was turned into a rail trail was the state government at the time closed the railway line down because there wasn't enough capacity at the time. So overall,
they wouldn't. The Labor government wouldn't put the money behind it when they were given it from the federal government.
Well, we created the opportunity. Okay, thank you very much for your comment.
Good on you. Good on you, Anne. I feel for what you're saying there, and progress sometimes seems a bit harsh, but look, as long as it's replaced with something that's bringing in a lot of enjoyment to the region, and what was the number, 180,000?
180,000.
180,000 mountain bikers and people getting exercise, and there's a lot of benefit that rail trail is still contributing to the community in big ways. Okay, that's my little bit for this morning for the Tweed Shire. It's good morning to Alan. Alan, go ahead.
Good morning, Alan.
Alan, go ahead.
Oh, yes. Good morning, Warren.
Good morning.
I'd like to address two items, if I could.
Mm-hmm.
Down in Kimberley Circuit, there's a laneway between 36 and 38 residents there, and it's pretty awkward for mobile scooters to use that access because of the footpath or the gutter is a rounded gutter, and you can see where some of them have scratched trying to get over it.
Mm-hmm.
If the rounded edge could be ground down to make it a lot easier for them to access, or make a ramp atmosphere would be appreciated.
Well, I've just taken note of that, Alan, because it's people like yourselves that bring these ideas to us that we probably wouldn't even be totally aware of, because personally, a lot of us don't, or I personally don't use a scooter and didn't know that was an issue, but now you've highlighted it. I've just made some notes of that, and I'll be raising that issue with our council staff after I finish this program.
Yes, well, recently there's been quite a few scooters being used from residents in that area, you know.
Yeah, I know that. Yep.
And secondly, the redevelopment of the Benora Point complex here. They could have, I'd say they might have missed the boat a little bit in the new access into the complex. They put a new driveway in, moved it closer to the roundabout, but it's still as dangerous as it ever was, trying to get in and out of there. They could have incorporated the access into the traffic lights at Winders Place by presuming a small area of the parking area of the Tweed Golf Club, and made their access in there, which would have been a lot safer for, the choice. Majority of the people around here are senior residents, and that would be a lot safer for people coming and going to the shops, you know.
Well, I do acknowledge your comments, because I live in Botanical Circuit, so I travel that road quite a lot, and I do understand the driveway you're actually talking about. I was quite surprised, because once you go past those lights, it's quite a quick turn into the right to go into that new shopping centre. But overall, it's been built now, and it's one of those things where we should have maybe put a little bit more energy into researching what we could get a better outcome. But overall, I do understand the problem you've raised, but I think there's little we can do about it.
Yeah, well, it still wouldn't be too late to step forward and investigate the traffic lights to enter in and out of the complex.
Yeah. I'll have a talk to our people about that today and just see what we can come up with, Alan.
Okay, Alan. Yeah. Alan, thank you for your call this morning, mate. Cheers.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
Bye-bye now. And it's a good morning to John. John, go ahead.
Good morning, John.
John, go ahead. Oh, okay, it's my fault. Good morning, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. I'm just received a letter about a DA that's into council, and it's for Kingscliff Street for the nursing home, and they want to go 4 stories. I mean, what's the story with even accepting that DA? It should be just refused on the grounds that it's 4 stories. We have a 3-story height limit there. I know the builders play with the AHD to get the heights to a set level, but it should be a knock on the head as soon as you see 4 stories.
Well, John, that DA you're talking about in Kingscliff for that facility is now under the hands of the state government. It's been called in. It's called state significance. So they're now dealing with it. Whereas Tweed Shire are having a workshop with the proprietors next week about some of the issues that have been raised in the past and are still there today. They've done some, we believe, we haven't seen the plans, they've done some modifications to the plans which they want to present to us, but the contribution from Tweed Shire will now be in the area of an advisory point of view from our community, what their community is saying to us, to pass on to the government, because it's now a state significant development means that we've lost control of it overall. We only have a role where we can give advice and put forward comments and seek support that they may be addressed in the proposal.
Righto, Warren, you're a very tough guy. Teach them to read. 3 stories, okay?
I can understand that for sure. No worries. Thanks, John.
Okay, John. Thank you for your call, John. Thank you for your call.
No worries.
And he is a tough guy too. He's good. He's on the money. All right. Okay, our next caller, it's good morning to Peter. Peter, what's your question for Councillor Polglase?
Good morning, Peter.
Oh, good morning, Warren. in Cooloola Drive and Duckett Street intersection, the northern end of Cooloola Drive, you've got a couple of potholes there that are getting bigger by the day. And also in that area at Aroomba Road on the southwest corner of the intersection with Duckett Street, in what would probably be classed as a footpath, you've got more pothole type situation there that's been there for quite some time now, and nothing has been done about it. Perhaps you could get some attention for those areas.
Well, now you've raised the point, Peter. I'm sure that I can put in what they call a council request for that to be looked at, because that's a pretty busy road, Duckett Street, through there, and overall I appreciate you raising the issue with me.
Yeah, it's the northern end of Cooloola Drive.
Northern
Are you
end,
familiar with Cooloola Drive?
Yes, I am.
Right, I'll leave it in your
northern
capable
end.
hands then.
Okay, thanks, Peter.
Yep.
Good on you, Peter.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for your call. Another happy Tweed resident has achieved what he wanted to do, and that's why we have this program on once a month with Warren. Hey, Warren, before we do close, a big event at the end of the year too, in September. Council elections are up.
Yes, well, the council elections are on the 14th of September, and we've been running set briefing sessions for anybody that wishes to be involved. And
yes.
The first briefing session we ran back in May, late May, wasn't over successful. I think it was about 3 or 4 people turned up.
Is this for roles? Are they like manning booths and all that?
No, this is for people who wish to become a councilor.
Oh, the top job.
So it's one of those top jobs, and we're running another session on the 4th of June in Murwillumbah,
yes.
from 12 o'clock and one at 5:30. Now, I always say to many people that, in this game, we get plenty of people giving us advice and criticism and all those issues and saying that we've got it wrong or it should be done this way. Well, I always say to those people, here's an opportunity to put your name down, have a go and test your opinions to the broader community and see where you stand. Sometimes in local government you're wrong, and most times you can be right. So an opportunity now avails yourself to all my constituents out there to put your name down, and if you want to have a go, and if you need to get some information on how it all works and the time consuming you have to be committed to, and also make sure you got a thick skin. 4th of June in Murwillumbah, 12 p.m. or 5:30 in the afternoon, can give you a briefing session of what's required or what's needed to be a local councillor in Tweed Shire.
Sounds like a great idea. Warren, thank you so much for making the time to join us today on our Talkback program. Look forward to being with you again next month.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.